Good evening. There's this annoying light on my laptop that is on whenever I record these, and in a dimly lit environment like this, it's annoying as hell. But to make matters better, I have a frosty cold adult beverage, and and by we, I mean mainly me, I am going to go through this video by Michael Aileen. I'm an inactive U.S. Marine, and I became a world famous personal injury lawyer with no law degree by using my do or die attitude, training, and discipline. Was not in recon or MARSOC, just in '03. That was explained to me, or explained not to me specifically, but generally by Josh from Stone Vet. That means that he was an infantryman but he got injured in his in school of infantry, so he never actually became an infantryman. Had surgery and sent home awaiting orders, honorably discharged. I don't know how you're inactive if you're honorably discharged. I try to answer shorts in under 1 minute, bigger questions in under 10 minutes as educational examples. But for sure, dude, the Corps and my Marine dad before me defines me. It defines me. The Corps defines me. What a douche. Standing on the shoulders of giants is what drives me to be the most aggressive, honest, and zealous consumer law / civil rights attorney expert in the USA. Expert. Yeah. Personal injury, consumer law, civil rights. He could be all those things and maybe more. Sure. That's true, my friend. That's true. So I was informed in my Discord channel. I might be going through this faster than I should. That I was the star of a lawyer reaction. Now, just so that everybody's aware, a lawyer reaction. Oh, did I block you on your other account? Oh, cool. Well, I blocked you on this account too. A lawyer reaction that's just it, a reaction. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a reaction. Like a reaction can't be right or wrong. It's just a reaction. A reaction isn't necessarily educational. It's just a reaction. So, if I get stung by a bee, I have a reaction. So lawyer react. I mean, like, does anybody go to a lawyer for their reaction? Is the value of a lawyer in his reactions, or is the value of a lawyer in his education, experience, understanding of the law, and application of the facts to the law? Maybe. I would assume that would be the value of an attorney, not his reaction. But anyway, I think I've soft shoot it long enough. We can get in here. First off, let's start off with lawyer reaction. This is the thumbnail. You can't see. I just pointed at my screen. Soliciting a trespass. Monday, 8:45 a.m. Pacific. Apparently, if you have time to stream on a Monday at 8 a.m., I don't know how busy you could be. I know at 8 a.m. Pacific time, I was at the office working. But I guess maybe that's why he's a world famous attorney expert, and I'm just a first year family law attorney. He goes on to say, no, generally cops can't solicit a crime of trespass. What's weird? So see at the top says lawyer reaction, soliciting a trespass, and then it switches to no, generally cops can't solicit a crime of trespassing. Do you see one of these things is not like the other? You see there are additional words that have been inserted. It went from soliciting a trespass to solicit a crime of trespass. And that's kind of weird why a lawyer would play those kinds of little word games. Yeah, so yeah, it was bothering me. I was getting too much food up in there. So I over the weekend I decided just to cut it off. I'm gonna let it grow back though, Juan. Don't you worry. It's not like your sweet mullet. Where it always stays. This gets cut down and then it grows back because I'm almost an adult man, even though I'm only a first-year family law attorney, and it grows back. So yeah, so he's playing dirty pool to start, and I know it features me, so I am already a little. Maybe you're not going to be. Maybe your reaction is going to be a little, let's say, strawmanish. Is that a word? Is strawmanish a word? I think strawmanish is a word. I'm going to go with it. If it's not a word, it should be a word. All right. So then the title of the video is Lawyer Reaction Soliciting a Trespass. So the crime apparently went away. So we're back to just soliciting a trespass. Cool. All right. So maybe he just got a little excited in making his thumbnail. I really don't see the last time I tried to power through one of these videos of his, it was fucking terrible. And so I'm trying to ease myself into it with alcohol, and I don't know if it's going to work. Okay. All right. Let's go.
To another edition of Ask Michael Eline. This is where I teach people the law in an unorthodox manner by using examples that we see in the news, case law briefs, but it's all about exposing the Leviathan and its instrumentalities and taking back your rights. Know
the so can everybody hear him? Can everyone hear him? Or is he? Do I need to turn him up? He's up all the way there. Do I need to turn him up? Hello. I guess no one's okay. I got a yes. So assuming that Brian isn't effing with me, let's do this. Let's Joe.
The law and mean to keep it well. Come here to learn from an expert to know your right. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save.
Do people really come here to learn from an expert? 218 views. Streamed 10 hours ago, 218 views. That's interesting. Do people really come here to learn from an expert, Michael? Is this puffery? Is this the puffery that we learned about in law school?
Police are going to take down the channel. Yeah, that's right. We never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel, but we never know when somebody might have bad.
I don't think anybody fucking cares about your channel, Michael. I mean, I'm going to be perfectly honest. Like, I know I'm a small fish in a huge pond. You're a smaller, more boring fish in just as big of a pond. So, Well, thank you, Nate. Consider this to be a drink in your honor. How about that?
Information which could take down their channel for 3 to 6 months, maybe on a misdemeanor charge that's unnecessary. So we're going to talk a little bit today about soliciting a trespass. And, the reason why I wrote this on the michaeleline.com blog here, Sovereign Citizens, is because cops associate anyone who makes an argument about.
You got to plug your blog. So here's a weird thing. Like, this guy is a world famous expert attorney, according to him, right? And he has tons and tons of wins in PI. And now, don't get me wrong, you can make some damn fine money doing PI. It's not hard work. You got to know how to build your case. But it's not like being an appellate attorney. It's not particularly hard. I would actually go as far as to say that I do both. I mean, I do personal injury and I do family law, and you have to know more rules, more laws there's more moving parts in a family law than in a PI. I mean, I'll just be honest. So, but anyway, so if this guy, like, why is this guy, like, why is he plugging his blog? Why is he monetizing his channel? Like, why? Like, I mean, do you owe somebody money, bro? Like, what's going on with that?
Soliciting a trespass, automatically cops think, oh, this is one of these whack job sovereign citizens. And then, of course, secondarily, we know it's cop watchers and auditors who use these arguments. And we keep seeing people getting in trouble, getting arrested, going to jail, going to prison. They're always making these arguments. You're wondering, why is that happening? So I decided I would do this blog post, and I'm going to go ahead and do this reaction to my blog post here so you can get a better understanding of what's going on. So
he's going to do a reaction to his. He's going to do a reaction. So I have not watched this. I just want to be very clear. I was not expecting this. I was led to believe that I was somehow the Discord. There's pictures of me in it. There's pictures of me in it. Discord. Who posted that? Who posted that? Share this tab instead. So I assumed, and of course, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me, that this somehow revolved around me. So maybe I was wrong. Maybe I'm wasting my time and your time and everybody's time. But
well, typically, just so you guys know, I am, hold on one second. Let me just get this open up here. Okay, so I am a California and Texas personal injury lawyer. I have done appellate law and criminal law work in the past. And since my buddy got thrown in jail over some of this stuff, I really got more interested in educating people to make sure that they don't end up getting in trouble themselves. And so this is for another.
So why didn't he educate his buddy? His buddy, of course, being Chile. And I don't think Chile was thrown in jail over the soliciting a trespass. This was published by Delete Laws on January 23rd, 2023. And this is what Chile was discussing.
Yeah, shut your door or you'll get sued, dude. I'll ruin you. You don't know who the hell I am. I will ruin you, dude. This is what I do for a living. I'm gonna stand right here.
You can leave
I'm
our
gonna
scene.
stand
Yes,
right
you can,
here.
sir.
I'm standing in the parking lot. I came to
Sir,
get
would
gas.
you like me to
and you guys,
trespass this individual
you
from your
can't
property?
trespass me, honey. You can't solicit a trespass. Go ahead, let's follow it.
That's what Chile did not get arrested for. Chile was not arrested over this. But this is what I was reacting to in my video. This is my video, and you can see that this was also published on January 23rd, 2023. This is 9 minutes of me pontificating in my car immediately after watching his dumbass video. So did I say something wrong? I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. Maybe he won't even talk about me. But you got the kind of understanding about what I was talking about in my video was the video that I had just watched, which was this video from Delete Laws. And before I lose all of you to the sheer boredom of listening to Michael Aileen go on, this is one of my videos. Ooh, nice pause face there, bro. This is my video from March 15th. And this is Michael Aileen. Come on my show and let's debate this, bro. To which I said no, and to which he creepily said yes. Like, I don't know, bro. Does no mean no? I think no means no, and you're being a little creepy. Not that I really care about this midget fuck, but whatever. Anyway, let's go. Let's Joe.
Non-commercial purpose, and it's just designed to educate you, help you understand what's going on. So we're just going to get into it really quick because I don't have a lot of time today. I'm going to be doing another show at 3 o'clock today to go over what's going on with NorCal Cop Watch. But basically what's going on here is a lot of people think that if they go to a gas station, a private business, and they're out in the parking lot and they're filming, or they're in a private parking lot and they're out filming, that they have a right to do that. They're engaged in a First Amendment protected activity. And that if the police are called, if the police go and ask the store owner or a manager, hey, do you want me to file a trespass complaint against this person? And they say yes, and the officer does that, well, the cop watcher will say, hey, you're illegal.
Why would they file a trespass complaint? See, normally what has to happen is that someone with authority has to tell you to leave. If a store is open to the public, generally speaking, hashtag your state's laws might vary, but I've done this now for 6 years or so, and I've looked at a lot of state laws, state trespassing laws, and generally speaking, you have to have some notice that you're being trespassed. The trespass is the hey, you can't be here anymore. I am trespassing you. You're not allowed to be here. If you don't leave, then the cops might give you a trespass warning, or they might arrest you or whatever. So, by the way, for everybody who wants me to talk about things that aren't relevant to what I'm actually streaming about, it's not going to happen. If you're waiting around for me to talk about it, it's not going to happen. At least not tonight. So, enjoy.
Legally soliciting a trespass, that's a crime. You can't do that. And then we have, in response to that, we have this guy, his name is Merb. And I want you to, so here's what Merb has to say. I guess he's an anti-cop watch frauditor guy. I want you to see what he says, because he's wrong and so is the other side. But
I'm an anti-cop watch frauditor guy. I mean, except for the fact that I've done my own your playlists. Oops, why did it not do the thingy? Your playlist, that's what I wanted. Audits, look right there. Audits, I have 9 audits. How many audits do you have, Michael Aileen? How many audits do you have, bro? Debate me, bro. But anyway, he says I'm wrong. So we'll see how I'm wrong.
So you can kind of see what I'm having to deal with, because I want you to see what he's is Merb. And I want you to, so here's what Merb has to say. I guess he's an anti-cop watch frauditor guy. I want you to see what he says.
Oh, and he was like, I just want to be very clear that this guy is doing this. He's going after me so that I drive views his way, right? I drive views his way. So, I mean, I've thought about it. I've contemplated it all day, but I figured, you know what? If he's worth the views, here's the thing. People who hate Chile watch his channel all the time. Most of Chile's views, I would reckon, are people hate watching Chile. And he makes pretty good money having people hate watch him. So if people want to hate watch this Michael Ealing guy, or even like watch him because they think that he knows more than me, because he is a world famous expert attorney who just has to slum on YouTube to make his ends meet. But maybe he knows more than I do. I am just a first-year family law attorney after all. Although, in fairness, I did attend and graduate from law school. So, I mean, maybe that's a step up for me. Little bragging rights or something.
Because he's wrong and so is the other side. But I want you to see what he has got to say, so you can kind of see what I'm having to deal with, because I've got to take all these lemons and turn them into lemonade so people understand their rights. So here we go.
Oh, take these lemons and turn them into lemonade, bro.
Charged with it. Now, you might say that the cops should be. Okay, I can't argue with that. That's your opinion. But as a matter of practicality, no, cops don't get charged with it. That's a problem right there, isn't it? You can't show one. He didn't show one.
Hold on a second. Where do we start? I can't see where we started, so I can't see that. I can't see that timestamp because my eyes are old. But what happened before that?
Good morning. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I just looked at my non-existent watch. I think it's about noon. Getting close to noon. Anyway, I just watched a video from Delete Laws. It had 3 major points to it. Point number 1 is cops can't solicit a trespass. It's a federal crime. Well, I challenge that.
Cops can't solicit a trespass. It's a federal crime. It's a federal crime for cops to solicit a trespass. That was Chile's thesis in the video that I had in this video, Eat My Shorts Copper, Bad Cop Tries to Solicit a Trespass Against Me. And the timestamps match up. Again, this premiered on January 23rd, 2023. And I filmed this on January 23rd, 2023. It's safe to say I would go out on a limb and suggest to you that I was, in fact, responding to the specific Eat My Shorts Copper, Bad Cop Tries to Solicit a Trespass Against Me. So, okay. So now we have context. Now we know what I was talking about.
Assertion. Show me one time, one case where a cop was charged with soliciting a trespass as a.
Show me one time, one case where a cop was charged with soliciting a trespass. Okay.
As a felony, as a federal offense, even a misdemeanor. I don't really care. Just show me one time where a cop was charged with it. Now, you might say that the cop should be. Okay. I can't argue with that. That's your opinion. But as a matter of practicality, no, cops don't get.
Okay. So now we have all the stuff that he didn't decide to show in his little video because he's going to steel man me, right? Lemons into lemonade, folks. You can say cops. See, I mean, look at that.
That the cop should be. Okay, I can't.
He started like 44 seconds into my video where I had stated what I was talking about and why. Oh, fucking Christ. So I'm talking about practically now. So why was I talking about practically? Well, because there are 50 states out there. There's 50 states. Each one of those states has subdivisions of laws. You know, municipalities have municipal codes and things like that. I still got a few left in me for you, big boy or big girl. So as a matter of practicality, like all I'm saying is if this was an actual thing, you wouldn't see cops in all these jurisdictions going and soliciting trespasses. If they were going to get charged with a felony or a federal crime or whatever he was saying, if they were going to actually get charged with that, then they wouldn't be doing it. So like, I understand that a lot of people in Chile's little circle don't take me at my word of it's not a felony. It's not a federal offense. So my point is, like, look, you don't see it happening. So even if it was, even arguendo, even if it was, you can't point to anything. I'm trying to communicate with people on their level. So I've already said it wasn't a crime. I've already said it's not. And I said, as a practical matter, you can't show me one. If you could, you would. Right? He read something somebody wrote. So what did he? Oh, shit. I was showing you the wrong thing. So we want to share this tab instead.
Show one. He didn't show one. He read something that somebody wrote. It was basically an argument on why they should be.
All right.
So he read something somebody wrote. So he changed. Hold on a second. Did he unpin it? Oh, God damn it. He must have unpinned it. There was something. Hold on a second. We're searching now as a image. And this was from, when was it? January of 2023. Let's go back about 100 pages or so. Oh, that was too far. Riveting content, John. You say that Aileen, whatever the hell his name is, boring, and you do this? Terrible, bro. Getting closer. That's what she said. Getting closer. My God, I post a lot of really terrible things. Let's do that. Let's do that. And then we're going to go. I was posting a lot of pictures around that time, unfortunately. This is where a better streamer would have someone who could just talk and fill the air with useless nonsense, or maybe actually be prepared for this. But me, no, I can't just be prepared. I've got to be like, let's go into this blind. Let's do it blind. I'll operate on half-remembered memories. Hold on a second. Getting close. I'm in doggy pictures. Lots of doggy pictures. I was on a doggy picture kick there for some reason. And that's disturbing. There we go. This is what had been pinned. So this is what he read out at the beginning. You know what? Maybe it was a different video. He must have posted like another video at this time. Oh no, he didn't. It's in here. I think it's somewhere in this part when he's reading it. But anyway, this was the pinned comment that he essentially read as if it was authoritative. So weird. But all right, let's go back to the wonderful world of Michael Aileen. Ask Michael Aileen. No one did ever.
He's saying there's no such thing as soliciting a trespass for a cop because otherwise cops would get charged with that. Well, as a lawyer, I'd like to do research for a cop because otherwise cops would get charged with that. Well,
that's a pretty good real world argument to make, don't you think, Michael? Like say for example, someone said, "Oh, there's this law on the books that you can't buy cheese in this particular city in New Hampshire on a Sunday." These old blue Sunday laws or whatever they used to call them, or whatever they call them, blue something laws. And you're like, well, yeah, I mean, technically, yeah, it's on the books, but like no one actually gets charged with it, right? And so that's a pretty good argument for why it's not actually illegal. If people aren't getting charged with it, it's not illegal. Is a practical matter. But remember that I had said prior to that, it's not a crime. Even look at the name of the video. It's not a crime. It's not a crime for cops to solicit a trespass. Not a crime of trespass. The title of the video says it's not a crime for cops to solicit a trespass. So I'm pretty sure that I was clear that it's not a crime for cops to solicit a trespass.
He wrote. It was basically an argument on why they should be.
All right, so you kind of see he's saying there's no such thing as soliciting a trespass for a cop because otherwise cops would get charged with that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as a lawyer, I'd like to do research. I don't even know that there is a federal crime called soliciting a trespass, but
there's not. I looked it up. I did the research. I did it a long time ago, well before I made this particular video, because the cops can't solicit a trespass thing has been around. God, what was that guy in Southern California who likes to say kick rocks all the time? He dated not Pink Camera Magic. He dated the other gal, Ida Foxy Queen. Anyway, I mean, I've heard you can't solicit a trespass since I've been in this community. I've heard you can't solicit a trespass. And by this community, I don't mean the anti-Chile community. I mean the cop watch auditing community, cop watch and auditing community. So yeah, it's been a long time. I've actually looked into it. So he's got Watkins versus Miller case, which doesn't sound like a crime because you notice it's not a state involved on either side, but let's go.
Today, what we're going to do is I'm going to explain to you what soliciting is, because soliciting is.
Oh, what he's going to explain what soliciting is, and he's going to explain it in the context of the Chile video, soliciting a trespass.
An actual offense, whether or not the actual thing that you solicited happened.
Hold on a second.
So I'm going to explain to you what soliciting is, because soliciting is an actual offense.
Soliciting is an actual offense. What jurisdiction are we in? And soliciting what? What jurisdiction are we in? And soliciting what? Because I can tell you that in, damn you,
Whether or not the actual
in Nevada, there's like 3 different solicitings in the penal code section. There is soliciting, pandering and soliciting for prostitution. And that's where you basically you try to convince someone to become a prostitute or stay a prostitute. And then there's soliciting a murder. And then there's soliciting a assault, a battery, robbery, something along those lines. There's those 3. There's no. Thank you, Michelle. It was High Desert Community Watch. Thank you. See, Michelle knows. So there's no soliciting as a crime. It's not. You're not charged with soliciting. You're charged with one of those 3 specific soliciting crimes. Now, other jurisdictions do it different. I know, like Tennessee, for example, and I know this because I've been making these videos forever. And who was it in Tennessee? Anyway, someone from Tennessee contacted me about this, and I don't know if I made a video on it or if I just looked it up. But in Tennessee, soliciting acts like a like conspiracy or attempt would in other jurisdictions, where it just is a modifier. If any crime, even a misdemeanor, can get charged. You can get charged with soliciting that crime. But but every state handles it differently. So this fucking jackwad saying soliciting is a crime. Like, first of all, a real attorney would be like, hold on a second. Let's figure out where we're talking about. Chile was talking about it in Henderson, Nevada. Are we talking about this in Nevada? Are we talking about Nevada law? Because in Nevada law, soliciting a trespass doesn't exist as a matter of Nevada fucking law. You can't solicit someone. You can't commit the crime of soliciting someone to commit the crime of trespass in Nevada. Doesn't exist. So, like, where the fuck are we talking about, bro?
actual thing that you solicited happened.
And remember, the premise was that somebody was saying it was a federal felony, and Michael Ailing has already admitted that he can't find a federal law on it. Douche canoe.
So just the mere act of soliciting is a crime itself.
The mere act of soliciting what? It has to be soliciting something. It's not just the crime of soliciting. There's no fucking crime of soliciting. There's the crime of soliciting prostitution. There's a crime of soliciting murder. There is something after the soliciting. Fuck. And again, it's going to vary state to state. Dumb shit.
Secondary crime that happens once the solicitation is acted upon. So I want to be able to teach you guys the law so you won't be walking around with half information. Then we're going to go into
He's totally not going to give us half information, except for the half information he's already given us.
the cases that you guys are citing. Most of them are depublished cases, which are garbage cases that you cannot cite. You'd get laughed out of court if you did. And the other ones are in jurisdictions that aren't even supposed to be where you're at.
Well, I literally thought I was just talking about that. I'm pretty sure that I bring that up in a lot of videos. So thank you, Michelle. Show Bob and Vegana.
So it's not valid or positive law for where you are. So in my article, I go into shepherdizing cases, but just
I go into shepherdizing cases in my article.
Really quick, I just want to dispel something, everybody, right now. It is not a federal crime for cops to solicit a trespass, whatever that is.
So I was right. Didn't he just say I was wrong? Didn't he just say I was wrong, but I was right? That's fucking weird. But apparently there's a federal crime. Maybe he's talking federal crime about solicitation.
when used in context with a cop watcher or someone filming.
We'll start by examining Watkins v. Miller, an unpublished case, he says. He just talked about shepherdizing, and now he's going to bring up an unpublished case. Ooh, this is going to be good. By the way, for those of you who aren't aware, shepherdizing is where you go through and you see whether a citation to a specific case is going to be a good citation, or if that case has been overturned, or if it's not published or not citable, or it's been overturned, or it's been like if parts of it have been overturned. I mean, the case wouldn't have been overturned, but if parts of it are no longer good law. That's what shepherdizing is. It's a fancy way of saying you look to see if your citation is still a good citation for what you're trying to cite it for.
Unless a man on the moon comes down to Earth. That's how rare it would be in a case like that. And I'll go into some fact patterns.
Wait, man on moon coming down?
Solicit a trespass, whatever that is, when used in context with a cop watcher or someone filming.
Whatever that is. Wait, so we're starting to answer a question when we don't know what the fucking question is?
Shepherdizing cases. But just really quick, I just want to dispel something. Everybody, right now, it is not a federal crime for cops to solicit a trespass, whatever that is, when used in context with a cop watcher or someone filming.
It's not a crime, whatever it is. Well, see, it's one thing to say it's not a crime for a cop to solicit a trespass. It's not a federal crime for a cop to solicit a trespass, because you're saying there's no crime, there's no law specifically against that. But the action of a cop soliciting a trespass could, in theory, lead to a violation of rights under 18 U.S.C. 242, especially if somehow the person that he solicits a trespass from becomes somehow a state actor, or could be considered a state actor enough to be that when they trespass the person, they're acting under color of law, and therefore you get a deprivation of rights under color of law. So in theory, those actions could, in a hypothetical circumstance, be a federal crime, but that's different than saying it's a federal crime to solicit a trespass. I hope I've made that clear as mud for you.
Unless a man on the moon comes down to Earth. That's how rare it would be in a case like that. And I'll go into some fact patterns where there could be.
I still don't understand this man on the moon comes down to Earth thing.
Whatever that is, when used in context with a cop watcher or someone filming. Unless a man on the moon comes down, it's positive law, laughed out of court if you did. And the other ones are in jurisdictions that aren't even supposed to be where you're at. So it's not valid or positive law for where you are. So in my article, I go into shepherdizing cases, but just really quick, I just want to dispel something. Everybody, right now, it is not a federal crime for cops to solicit a trespass, whatever that is, when used in context with a cop watcher or someone filming, unless a man on the moon comes down to Earth. That's how rare it would be in a case like that. And I'll go into some fact patterns where there could be.
Did that sentence make sense to anybody? That didn't make any sense to me. Like I have no idea what the fuck he's trying to say, but okay.
Potential issue for soliciting a trespass where a cop could be in trouble and definitely go to prison or lose his job. But right now, asking a manager if they want someone to leave, or should I give them a ticket to solicit, in other words, to subject this person to a warning, saying, I'm going to give them a warning. That's their notice and opportunity not to come back. If they come back, then it can be prosecuted as a crime. That's what a trespass notice usually is, guys. It's not like you're going to prison. So just so you know, it is not. And
again, that hashtag talk to a local attorney, because hashtag different states have different trespass laws. So hashtag you should, talk to a local attorney. Like, that's all I'm saying. The cops might not have to issue a trespass warning. They might not have to issue a citation, something saying that you this is your opportunity to leave. And in some places, they might want to issue you some sort of a citation or a notice and get your details and write it on the ticket, etc. They might want to do that, but you might not be obligated to give them your information. We've all been there, but yeah, that was a weird, fucked up sentence. I'm sorry. So again, like hashtag talk to a local attorney in your area. Don't just accept what this dude is saying in a fucking reaction.
And your typical sovereign citizen will say that, if you're filming the police or you're in private or public buildings, that you have an absolute right to do that, but they don't pay attention to the fact that in a private area, you don't. It's subject to whatever the property owner decides.
Well, even in a public area, you don't, because literally every circuit that has looked at this issue has said that you have a right to film what public officials do on public property, subject to reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions. So you don't have an unqualified right to film the police anywhere. It is always subject to reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions.
Unless you're filming from a public area, number one. And then in a public area, you're still going to be subject to time, place, and manner restrictions of how you can
well, good. Finally, we agree.
speak. And even if you are publicly protesting, you're supposed to pull a permit if you're going to have a protest. All those
You're supposed to pull a permit. You're supposed to pull a permit if you're protesting. You have to get government approval, says the civil fucking rights lawyer, to protest. The civil rights attorney says you got to get fucking government approval to protest the fucking government. Oh, Jesus, I've drunk way too much of this. I tell you what, if there was ever a civil rights attorney that I would want to hire on my First Amendment case, it would be the guy who says you need a fucking permit to protest the government. I just want to be clear that's my guy right there. I'd be like, hell yeah, brother. If you've got to get permission to protest. The people in power who don't want you to protest have to give you permission to go out and protest them, because that's the way it fucking works.
BLM riots were illegal. They never had a free speech.
The BLM riots were illegal. Oh my fucking God, I love this guy. I love him.
Speech right to do that. That was all criminal activity. So the only
it was all the entirety of the BLM riots, entirely illegal. Just all of it. Oi! You got a license for that protest?
only way you can legally protest is by permit, usually.
Oh my God, I didn't know this guy was going to be this funny. Holy shit. Oh my God. The only way you can legally protest is with a permit, folks. Oh, you heard it here first.
And it's going to be in the designated public area to do.
Oh, I got to say, you're designated public area if you're going to protest.
You're speaking. That's what a lot of people don't seem to understand. There are time, place, and manner restrictions. When all of us put our money together, purportedly our tax money, our fiat currency money, to build a park, for example, we also.
So the way the time, place, and manner restriction works is that's the lens that you look at the government restriction on the speech. The default is that if there is no government restriction in place, then you have the right to do it. If there is a government restriction in place, then the court will look at that government restriction to see if that government restriction is a reasonable time, place, and manner restriction that rationally or that is narrowly tailored to achieve a compelling government purpose and leaves open ample alternative channels, yada yada, right? So that's the lens that they look at the government restriction. That's not the lens that they look at your protesting through.
Also, as a society, want to make sure that there's not going to be rock concerts there every day or protests there every day because we want to bring our little kids there. So think about that. That's why they do that. So citing these crummy cases is a real problem. Now, the Watkins case is one of those crummy cases, and this is the case that most people cite. Watkins v. Miller. All right. Start looking at the cases, guys. Let me really quick show you what I mean. going to go over here to something I've got up on the screen for you. See right here? Hold on a minute. See right there in the upper right corner? Take a look, guys. Give me a bunch of ones if you see that. I want to make sure everybody sees this. It says do not publish. Do not publish. Give me a bunch of ones. I'm going to look over here. Well, hopefully you guys see it.
He's looking at his non-existent audience to see if anybody who is paying attention. Give me a bunch of ones. Give me a bunch of ones, folks. Does he have? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I want to do the. Where's the default? That one. Is there? They don't have. He doesn't have the live comments anywhere. Poop. He doesn't have the live ones. Oh, that'd be glorious to see if there's actually anybody watching his stream while he did it. That'd be fucking glorious. I mean, I don't want to say that his information would be any more or less valid if he had people watching him. I just think it'd be funny if he was asking for ones from people in the comment section or in the whatever the live stream, and there was no one there to put a one. I mean, I just think that'd be hilarious. And I've been in this community for a long time. The First Amendment auditor and Cop Watch community, and I've never heard anyone cite Watkins versus Miller. I've never heard anyone cite it, so I don't know where he's getting this from. I don't know if this is a Chile case.
Hey, Christopher, how's it going, guys? Hopefully you guys can hear me. Anyways, I'm hoping you guys see right there. It says do not publish. I'm hoping somebody give me a one. Okay, I got a one. Thank God. I am God gave me a one. I am God. Thank you. I am God. So just really fast.
God watches his videos, but not mine. Man, I feel kind of bummed about that. Why doesn't God watch my videos? Man,
this is Eric Watkins went ahead and sued this cop, and the basis of his complaint against the cop is that this cop was called out to this parking lot in Florida by an anonymous caller. He wasn't someone with authority to issue him a trespass warning, and he went ahead and did it anyways. And then he also Watkins argued that Miller wrongfully forced him to stay on the property so he could issue him the trespass notice. So that when you guys read this case, that's what soliciting a trespass meant to Watkins. And this is the case that you guys are all citing. It's a depublished case. It's not positive law. There's probably some good valid arguments in here, and we're going to talk about them. But the bottom line is Watkins said, hey, this cop wouldn't let me leave. Therefore, he solicited a trespass. He basically.
I have never heard it explained that way. I have never in my life heard it explained that way. I've only heard it explained like this.
I'm standing in the parking lot. I came to
Sir,
get
would
gas.
you like me to
You guys,
trespass this individual
you
from your
can't
property?
trespass me, honey. You can't solicit a trespass.
That is the only way I've ever heard it. That is the only way I've ever heard it. So I is this guy just like making this up as he goes along? Like is he like, oh well, how am I going to say Merbius is wrong? Okay, I got it. Let's find a case that deals with trespassing, that doesn't deal with soliciting a trespass, either by a cop like soliciting the crime of trespass, or by a cop asking the landlord if the landlord would trespass the person. Let's find a case where an anonymous caller reports somebody, a cop shows up to an empty parking lot and forces someone to stay there while the cop writes a ticket. That way I can be right and Merbius can be wrong. Even though Merbius said explicitly that he was responding to a Delete Laws video that he had just watched, and this appears to be that Delete Laws video. Well, we're only 8 minutes in. I've been streaming now for fucking ever. I'm probably going to wrap it up. I don't think we're going to make it through 32 minutes because, number one, I'm going to run out of booze real quick, and I'm going to run out of steam even quicker.
committed a crime by violating my First Amendment rights and Fourth Amendment rights by seizing me and forcing me to stay there so he could issue me a citation. And the federal district court dismissed the case. It said it was frivolous. They actually absolutely threw the case out and said the case was frivolous. So this is a case that a lot of you guys are arguing. So just so you know, a depublished case is a case that happens where a verdict or opinion has been deselected from it. So just so that could issue me.
What was the case again? Let's look it up. Why would we take this guy's word at face value over anything? Because he's not actually showing us the case. He's showing us his fucking blog entry about the case. Watkins v. Miller. Watkins v. Miller. (2019). So I just checked. Solicit doesn't appear anywhere in this ruling. The word solicit does not appear anywhere in here. SOLICIT. He was on a Justia, though, so let's see if it's Justia. Download the PDF. First of all, is a case searchable? United. It is. All right. So it is searchable. So we are going to search. Bling. Nope. Doesn't appear in there. So why are we talking about soliciting a trespass in a case that doesn't talk about soliciting a trespass? It's pretty fucking weird.
That Miller wrongfully forced him to stay on the property so we could issue him and the federal district court, despite their opinion, has been deselected from reporting it, right? That means it cannot.
It has nothing to do with soliciting a trespass. So who the fuck cares?
Not be cited. And if you do, you can get sanctioned as a lawyer. I mean, I actually got a lawyer sanctioned once for citing bad law in one of our briefs and got him. He really got, man, he did not want to mess with me ever again. We settled that one. But don't cite.
I'm a press X to doubt.
Cite this garbage. Don't cite depublished cases. You can look at them for ideas. Now, what is a solicitation? So a criminal solicitation is basically where someone tries to persuade you or tempt you to do something that's illegal. And just by them doing that, like, hey,
my concern here is that each state is going to have different definitions. Maybe slight tweaks, variations on a theme, as it were, about what does or does not constitute solicitation. And again, he's treating this as though it's like conspiracy or attempt, which modify the base crime. They would be defined separately, and they modify the base crime. So attempted murder, it's murder without actually following through and getting the murder completed. It's you tried to do the murder, but you didn't do the murder. Conspiracy to commit murder, that's where you get together with one or more people and take steps towards committing a murder. He's treating solicitation as that kind of thing, a modifier to a crime. Nevada doesn't treat it that way. Tennessee does. What you should take from this is talk to a local attorney. Don't take some jagoff's word on the internet. Mine or Aileen's. Because I'm just a first-year family law attorney.
hey man, there's a hooker over there. Here, give her this $20. Go for it, bro. Here's the $20. You just
That's the weirdest way to get solicitation of solicitation. He's talking about solicitation. No, actually, that'd be conspiracy. Would that be conspiracy to solicit? That'd be conspiracy.
Solicited that person to go and hook up with that hooker, and that's a crime right there. So if you want to provoke someone, attempt them to partake in something, attempt them.
I mean, maybe if it's not a crime, like say you're at a brothel in Nevada, and someone says, "Here's $20. Go fuck that hooker." I don't know if hookers are $20. And I mean, I've never used the expensive ones anyway, but that's neither here nor there. Again, like he just assumes that prostitution is illegal all over everywhere. I mean, I've been there. I literally had to mea culpa like a week ago because I was treating the obstruction interfering charge like it was a California crime where you don't have to have the specific intent to obstruct. You just had to do the things that cause the obstruction. And someone called me out on it and I had to mea culpa, right? So it happens, but I'm not calling out another attorney who wasn't fucking wrong in the first place and trying to big dick him.
Tempt them to partake in illegal activities. Got it? Hope you guys get that. So in this particular case, Miller wasn't attempting to make Watkins participate in any kind of an illegal activity. Now, there is a case where MERB 34ST could be proven wrong if in MERB.
Well, prove me wrong, bro.
34ST's case, he's saying, well, an officer could never be found convicted or charged with a crime of soliciting someone. And soliciting is basically encouraging someone to commit a crime. Well, cops can get charged with that and have been charged with that all the time. So number one, he's wrong. But number two, one way that a cop watcher could bring a claim against an officer.
Well, quit talking and show me, bro.
For soliciting trespass. One way.
Hold on a second. We switched. I don't know if anybody else caught that. He just switched from convicted of a crime to bring a claim. One's criminal, one's civil. What are we talking about?
That a cop watcher could bring a claim against an officer for soliciting trespass.
Could bring a claim against an officer for soliciting a trespass.
Would be, let's say that BLM does get their permits and they're protesting lawfully this time, which I don't think they've ever actually done. And there is somebody there who's a cop watcher who the cop also knows maybe has a restraining order against one of the people in the audience at the BLM, but the cop wants to start crap with BLM and break it up. He doesn't like it that they're there for whatever. Maybe he's racist or he just doesn't like them because they're causing trouble. Could be any reason, but the cop doesn't want these people there. They're engaged in a First Amendment activity, protected activity. He can't do anything to break it up because he can get busted, maybe lose his job. So what does the cop do? Miller says, "Hey, Mike, go over there and break that up, man. It's okay. We're not going to arrest you if you do it." And he does it. That would be soliciting.
He's sending. Maybe I got lost in that convoluted example.
For whatever, there's somebody there who's a cop watcher who the cop also knows maybe has a restraining order against one of the people in the audience at the BLM.
Okay, so there's a hypothetical protest going on. There's a hypothetical person who has a restraining order against one of the protesters.
But the cop wants to start crap with BLM and break it up. He doesn't like it that they're there for whatever. Maybe he's racist or he just doesn't like them because they're causing trouble. Could be any reason, but the cop doesn't want these people there. They're engaged in a First Amendment activity, protected activity.
I'm waiting for the trespass part.
He can't do anything to break it up because he can get busted, maybe lose his job. So what does the cop do? Miller says, "Hey, Mike, go over there and break that up, man. It's okay. We're not going to arrest you if you do it." And he does it. That would be soliciting.
Where was the trespass? Where was where was you are on property where you know or should know that you're not allowed to be? Where's the trespass?
Soliciting a trespass.
That wasn't a trespass. That wasn't a trespass. That wasn't even a crime on the part of the cop. If there's a cop watcher there who has a restraining order against someone who's protesting at the BLM and they're both there, the person who has the restraining order against them has to abide by the terms of the restraining order. What the fuck? That was that. I am 20 IQ points dumber just having listened to that, whatever the fuck that was. It didn't even talk about trespass, motherfucker. Jesus H. Christ.
because he's soliciting that guy to trespass against the First Amendment rights of.
Oh my God. Now it's trespassing against. We're not even. Oh, Jesus, motherfucker. It's trespassing rights now. It's trespassing rights. He's soliciting a trespass of rights. What the fuck is he talking about? What right? What right? What right has been trespassed? So we're going into Bartlett v. Neves or Neves v. Bartlett territory, where if the cop has probable cause to arrest you, for example, for violating a restraining order, assuming this is an arrestable offense, right? If the cop has probable cause to arrest you, then you would have to show that similarly situated persons who violate restraining orders are not arrested by cops unless they're engaged in this particular kind of, in his instance, BLM, pro-BLM speech. This guy's fucking dumb as dog shit. Like, I did not want to roll into this criticizing him unfairly. But that was fucking stupid. I think he is suggesting that a protest is an exception to a protective order. That cops can't enforce protective orders, restraining orders, if you're engaged in First Amendment activity or something. I don't know. It's his happy place, and he's sticking to it.
Of the BLM protesters. So yes, you're wrong, Merb. A cop could definitely be charged, and they have been charged with soliciting.
Charged? Where do we get the charged? Show me the charge. Because you whiffily fucking waffled on whether or not they could be civilly liable or charged. Show me the charge. He just made some weird fucking example over something that isn't soliciting a trespass. He's called it soliciting a trespass, and then said, "See, Merb, you're wrong because cops have been charged." You never showed me they were charged, bro. Like, is this the winning kind of argument you present at court? I do research. What the fuck?
Soliciting crimes, and it happens all the time. So both sides,
And it happens all the time. My offer still stands. Show me one. Just show me one. Did you show me one? No, you didn't. Show me one. Fuck.
you frauditors and the sovereign citizens, the more in the center cop watchers, you're all kind of wrong on that. You need to start researching your cases. So now also, one of the arguments that Watkins made is that the officer had no authority to issue a trespass warning because he wasn't a property owner. He was just called out there by a phone call. That's not true. In Florida, the statute covers any structure or conveyance without being authorized or licensed. If anybody does that, the police do have the authority to issue a citation. That's basically what that means. And that is Florida statute 810.081. And that's what the law was back when the Watkins case v. Miller was decided. It's a depublished case, guys. I've covered it very well here for you. I also go down soliciting.
I've covered it very well for you. Oh my God, it's so mind-blowing how well you've covered it.
A trespass, what it is, I break it down for you.
So his his definition of soliciting a trespass implies encouraging, inviting, or otherwise facilitating an individual to enter or remain on certain premises unlawfully. So he thinks that when we're talking about soliciting a trespass, it means inviting an individual to enter or remain on premises unlawfully.
You can't trespass me. Honey, you can't solicit.
Did you hear her invite him to remain on the property unlawfully, Michael? You stupid fucking twat. Jesus H fucking Christ. I mean, straw man much? No one uses soliciting a trespass to imply a cop inviting someone, soliciting someone to commit the crime of trespass. He's so stupid, and yet he's clever but stupid. He's not smart, but he's clever. He's using little word plays, just like I pointed out in his thumbnail. He switched from soliciting a trespass to solicit the crime of trespass, back to soliciting a trespass. And now we're soliciting a trespass is now soliciting the crime of trespass. He has redefined what the fuck we're talking about. And by redefining it, I'm wrong, because he changed the definition. We're no longer talking about what I was talking about. We're now talking about what his definition is. And according to his definition, he wins because it's his definition. And all you have to do, apparently, to win one of these internet arguments is to change the fucking definition. Just change the definition. Here you go. Here's my definition of what soliciting a trespass is. It doesn't appear in any fucking Nevada revised statute. It doesn't exist there. It's not even fucking possible in Nevada. It's certainly not a federal law. It's not even something you could be charged with in Nevada, if my understanding of Nevada law is correct. Hashtag check with a local attorney. Hashtag I'm just a first-year family law attorney. Hashtag don't solicit anybody to commit trespass, just in case I'm wrong.
I go into Watkins v. Miller. I talk about private property trespass. By the way, in a public area, you can.
I go into Watkins v. Miller, a case that nobody has ever brought up, that doesn't even mention soliciting a trespass. That doesn't even mention not just soliciting a trespass generally as the auditors / cop watchers use it, but even as he fucking defines it here, it doesn't mention it. This case that nobody talks about, that doesn't have anything to do with the subject matter, he is gracious enough to tell us it doesn't apply to the situation. Well, thank God. Thank God. He answered the burning question that nobody fucking asked, which was, does Watkins versus Miller apply to soliciting a trespass? Thank God. I mean, where would we be without this hard-hitting lawyering and research? My God, this guy must have spent all of 10 minutes on the shitter on his cell phone researching this for us. Thank God we have him. He's a national goddamn treasure.
Still be trespassed, but typically it's not really a trespass. They call it something else, like disturbing the peace. And that's because in a public building, there's reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions. There's another thing I want to talk.
In a public building, it may be a limited public forum or a non-public forum. A court has almost universally been held to be a non-public forum, which means that there isn't reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions. It means they could just say fucking no. As long as they have a legitimate government purpose and it's rationally related to achieving that legitimate government purpose, and it's reasonable. Thank God he's educating us. I'm done. I'm done.
Talk about later. It's about filming it.
I can't handle this guy anymore. He's fucking retarded. And he's like, the assertion that public buildings can limit your speech can be limited in public buildings only by reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions is so fucking ludicrous. So fucking ludicrous. Michael Aileen, I invite you, sir. Go to the Supreme Court. They have their sessions are public, and I'm not going to ask you to do anything like major. Just I don't know. Just try to do any speech. Just make any speech in the chambers. See what happens. See what happens. No, he doesn't have a Juris Doctorate. I don't think. I believe. I'm pretty sure that he said that he got his. You can apprentice your way into. He claims to. I thought he said that he.
The insurance company is not your friend.
Oh, the autoplay. Says he has no law degree. No law degree means no Juris Doctorate. He says, I became a world famous personal injury attorney with no law degree. That's a great question. Now he's an actual attorney. He is a member of the California State Bar. He's licensed. He's been licensed to practice since like 2009 or 2005 or something like that. I'm not sure, but he's an attorney, and I'm not even saying he's a bad attorney in his practice area of personal injury. That's a great question, Peyton. I'm not saying that he's not a good personal injury attorney. You don't have to be a good. How do I phrase this? It's not a very law intensive field to be a personal injury attorney. You're not really practicing law. You're practicing. He earned his Juris Doctorate at UWLA. I don't even know what UWLA is. UWLA. University of West Los Angeles School of Law. Okay. So he does have a Juris Doctorate. Well, good for him. But it's like there's some areas of the law that are very like technical that, believe it or not, family law, you have to know a lot of statutes. There's a lot of law involved, like how do you split this asset? How do you determine what a separate property asset is? Community property. How do you figure out like Moore Marsden, Watts credits, Epstein credits? You have to know a lot of different little bits of law to put everything together. Personal injury is more about being able to negotiate well and building damages. So, yeah, maybe. Good for him. Didn't seem to help him much. But anyway, like I said, I'm done. Like I can't deal with this anymore. It's late. He's retarded. He's saying stupid shit. I could keep nitpicking him apart all day. But go watch his video, let me give him a little shout out, I guess. It was lawyer reaction soliciting a trespass. If you want to know completely how to not answer the question and to talk around it the entire time, he gives great example on how to do that. I would love for you to sing me a good night song. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.